There are many different types of data, and different programming languages have their own rules governing how different data types are treated. In Python, for instance, characters such as a or question mark are called strings. You can query different objects using the type function. So by typing type and then the string hello, I can find out that this is a string. Similarly, type and I am learning Python should return the same result. Other data types you should know about are ints, which is short for integer. These are whole numbers like 1 or 1000. Another numerical data type is the float. This is an implementation of a fraction, such as 1.0 or 3.142. There are many other data types, such as lists, dictionaries, and sets. And as you become more experienced with Python, you'll learn more about these data types. Different operations in Python will have different outcomes depending on the data type used. So adding the integer 2 to another integer 2 produces the integer 4, whereas adding the string 2 to another string 2 will produce the string 22. And adding a list containing the number 2 to another list containing the number 2 will produce a list containing two values of 2. Luckily in Python, it's fairly easy to switch between data types. This is called typecasting. For instance, here I'm going to set a variable and give it the value of the string 3. So when I query what type this is, it should return class string. Now because my num is a string, I can't add it to another integer. So for instance, if I type my num plus 3, the interpreter will tell me that I cannot add a string to an int. I can, however, add a string to a string, so my num plus the string of 3 should give you the string 33. If I want to use my num in calculations, I must first typecast it to an integer. I can do this by typing int and then the variable name. Then I can add it to 3 and we'll get the output 6. I could also create a new variable called myNewNum, which is equal to the int of myNum. Now the type of myNewNum will be an int. Because myNewNum is an int, it's impossible to concatenate it with a string. So typing myNewNum is and then adding on myNewNum will error because you can't add strings and ints together. To concatenate the value of myNewNum to a string, I must first typecast it from an int back into a string. So myNewNum is plus and then string of myNewNum. Now it's time for a challenge. You learned about getting user input in the Mad Libs exercise last week. For example, you can type num equals input, give me a number, and this will ask the user to input a number. However, this number will always be a string, so you can't perform calculations on it. Your next challenge is to make a program that asks the user for the real age of a dog and then converts this to an integer. Then calculate the dog's age in dog years, so multiply by 7. Turn this result back into a string and then output the result so the user can see how old the dog is. There are a few ways to do this, but you might find it easier if you jot down a little pseudocode first to help you figure it out. As always, you can share your achievements in the comments below.